I was just having another quick look through my pan and I pulled this out. A nice little specimen. Absolutely love them. On quartz too. It's going to be a lot more fun in that pan. What's up guys, Chris here from Vo-Gus Prospecting. If you're new to the channel, a big warm welcome. And if you're an old baldy beanie with backwards riding like this one, welcome back. Today, I'm high banking a spot that I found 2 years ago. But a friend just reintroduced me to this spot recently and I tested a little gravel bar behind me that's loaded with gold. I mean, I haven't seen gold this good since I discovered the mustard pit. That's just about enough yammering out of me. We're gonna turn that high banker on and we're gonna get digging. That dirt doesn't have any gold in it. I was just charging the bed in the high banker to make sure there's some rock and stuff there so that when gold goes down, it's not going to go straight through the mat. Get a real pick. So I had an oops with the high banker. I put this one shovel load in that was slightly heavy because I had a big chunk of bedrock in it. The whole thing tipped over, but I had to stop and reset everything. And because I had to reset everything, I just ripped out the bottom mat because it lifted the mesh up and it wasn't going to work properly. This is what we got out of the bottom mat for the first 10-ish shovels. Now I actually reduced all the concentrates in the potato pan, and I'm just doing this final cleanup because I haven't quite got the knack of just doing that fine reduction. My first 10 shovels actually came off bedrock that looked like this. It was quite barren. Now I think that's a pretty good result for running just the bedrock. It doesn't look like much now, but I am now into the actual dirt, the clay, the mud, the sand and the rocks. And that's where, when my test pans were showing me, between 40 and 50 specks every single pan. And that's the sort of gold we're getting for a 2-shovel pan. And that's why this spot's worth working. The super quick overview is this. See how this gully gets super steep and quite pinchy here? This is called a funnel. All the water and gold has to go through that point. So all of this soil gets eroded and pushed downstream, and as it comes downstream, it hits this point, and gold, being the wonderfully predictable beast that it is, usually falls out first because it's likely the heaviest thing that you're going to find in any given creek system. And that simply means it likes to hug edges. Edges are simple. They're just the divide between where there's high velocity water and low velocity water. At that point, there's friction and a lot of drag, and that's where the gold tends to drop out, which is what we've got behind me here. This is the end of the wide section, and as the end of the wide section narrows up, we get a lot of high bedrock on this side, a lot of high bedrock on that side, and this is the edge, right where that high bedrock starts. This little chunk of land just here is all gravel, and it's packed full of gold. "20 minutes later, and I've run a fair bit more, but I heard an ominous little cracking noise and felt it on my shovel neck here. And other thing that's got me not concerned, it's happy, because there's a lot of associated heavies, but I'm seeing heaps of ironstone and black sands in all of these riffles. So I'm going to run a loss test and just see if we aren't blowing any gold out. Oh yeah, there's gold in that. There is gold. Not good. 40 to 50 specks a pan. I don't want to see more than 2, maybe 3 small bits of gold in my tailings maximum. They want to be fine, and that's not what I've got. Got 1, 2, 3, and there's a 4th one there, but they're too big. That size should be getting caught. Now, I don't think the angle of the sluice is too steep, so I'm going to make the adjustment on the pump with the water. I'm going to down the throttle so we don't have quite as much water running over the mat. Normally I'd have a little river sluice put in front of this to add extra length, and that usually negates that problem. I'm hoping that the slower water will give the gold more time to settle out. It's super rare that you'll manage to mine all the gold in one deposit in one day using one method. You really have to hedge your bets and look at this as a progressive thing. You test pan your way to the deposit, you river sluice the high bank the deposit, then you come back and you clean the bedrock. And that way you'll ensure that you'll get most of the gold. You'll never get all of it. I've been processing now for about 3.5 hours. I just wanted to show you this. I hope it comes out on camera, but there is a tiny little piece of gold just at the tip of my thumb there, and that's just coming out of the raw clay from the hole. I like that. My shovel is also really wobbly. That head is barely holding on, so I'm impressed with how much work it's managed to do. I don't know how much longer I'm going to get out of it. We've made really good progress. I've probably pushed through maybe a ½ meter's worth of dirt. By some miraculous miracle, my shovel outlasted my time. I'm out of time. I have to get this cleaned up. So, without further ado, see how much gold we got. Lefty loosey, righty, very tidy. All right. Well, this is the most exciting bit. Sometimes you get to look in here and see some gold, and other times Like today, you get to look in here and see a lot of ironstone and work ahead of you. We're going to do this clean out in 2 stages. I've got the top minus moss, which I always like checking on the creek, and then I'll take the rest home. I want to get to the stage where I can use my battaya pan to do the rough clean down on the creeks, but I'm not confident enough with it just yet. I know it's accurate and I know it will work. I've just got to get better at using it. So I'm going to use my Garrett pan to check this top bit of minus moss. And I'm going to take the rest of it home and use the cleanup sluice to do this properly. Oh man, there's still heaps of rock in there. If you can buy minus moss, never buy this stuff with the back on it, it's useless. That's not too bad. That is not too bad. This is what we got for our efforts in this top piece of minus moss. So you can see that is not a very big piece of moss, and that is a reasonable amount of gold. I'm going to take this and that home, clean it up, and then we're going to get it on the scales. Right before I show you this gold, I wanted to remind you about the super huge Mega Gold Monster 1000 giveaway. That's right, I'm giving away a Gold Monster 1000 completely free to a subscriber anywhere in the world on the 1st of September. The prize draw is completely free to enter, and all the information you need to know is in the description below. So right after you see the gold, check that out and you might be taking home a brand new shiny metal detector. This is all the gold we got for our high banking session next to an Australian 5-cent coin and a Clash Guitars pick for a bit of scale. And you better believe I got the surprise of my life when I did the clean up and this popped out. That is a nice size picker. But now it's time to get this on the scales. First, we're going to do the little picker. 0.04 for that one piece of gold. I am hoping for over a gram. That's what I would love to see come out of that spot. $1.55. That's way over a gram. That is so good. At today's record high gold prices, that 1.55 grams is worth 134 Australian dollars, which is pretty good for 6 hours work. And I have a little bit more ground there to work. I could go back, I'm going to yabby pump off the bottom of the bedrock to make sure I get every skerrick of gold that I possibly can, and there's that last remaining chunk of gravel bar that I could process. And it was unfortunate that I had losses, something that I could have prevented with a little river sluice in front of my high banker. Next time I will have to bring one. I learnt my lesson this time. Coming up next is a preview of the next video to hit Vo-Gus prospecting, but until then, if you don't want to miss out on any of my future adventures, hit the subscribe button and the little bell on the bottom corner. Subscribing is completely free and it gives you access to well over 350 gold prospecting, metal detecting, magnet fishing and other treasure hunting videos. Hit that share button if that's something you're into. Giving this video a like or a dislike helps the channel grow bigger and better so I can continue to make videos for you guys. And until next time, please give your dog a scratch behind the ear for me. Peace! And I'm out. Today, I'm going to teach you how to do loaming samples to find the source of your gold.